Hello there, wrestling fans. Welcome to another episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I'm your host, Joe the Panther the Third. And man, happy November 1st, everybody. And this is the last 2 months of the season 3. And why not welcome a young lady that is doing some awesome things in the independent wrestling scene right now? Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to Kelly Paige. Welcome, Kelly. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So, who trained you?
I was trained by Tony Vargas and partially by Big Ugly JD Bishop.
Ooh. So, what kind of advice did they give you in within your wrestling style?
They really wanted to focus on creating me as a strong woman, since there's not a lot of women wrestlers in NorCal anymore.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, um, there's a lot in the Bay Area, but none in the Central Valley where I am from. So mostly they wanted me to be able to handle myself in the business and to go out there and put on a traditional wrestling match where I'm able to create a story.
Wow. That's good that you're doing the showing like a strong woman in the ring, because not saying there's not a lot of like strong women in wrestling, but you know what I mean, Callie. Like a lot of times nowadays, the female wrestlers is either they're trying to be Barbie like or very dainty. And I am a big supporter of women's revolution in the indies. And it's always good to paint a good picture with female wrestlers for the younger generation. You know what I mean? Like the 9, 10-year-old girls. You got to show that you could be tough and strong and still wear pink, and you could just kick some guy's ass. You know what I mean? Like,
I
so,
know exactly what you mean.
yeah. Like, so, who in the independent scene that you've been watching? Like, who have you been wanting to wrestle?
Recently, I've been wanting to wrestle Black Swan, Zoe Dubois.
She's awesome,
Um,
by the way.
I've I've been watching her. She debuted around the same time as I did, and I'm really looking forward to potentially wrestling her.
Well, when you see her, when you pin her 1, 2, 3, whisper in her ear, Joe Panther says hi.
I
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, because she's gonna be like, he did not say that I. You guys are pinning me 1, 2, 3, but yeah, everybody gets their chance.
Mhm.
Is there any other place in the world or within the country that you've been wanting to wrestle that you haven't been to yet?
Honestly, just came off my first year, my debut year, and I'm willing to go anywhere. I have a passport. I'm willing to travel. I want to make my mark in the indie scene.
Awesome. That's good because you're just coming off your first year of being in the indies, and like there's most people that are just like, oh, I'm trying to get my passport, but I'm just like, no, I don't want to hear that. As a podcaster, I want to hear that you have a passport and you're ready to go. Like I don't want to hear maybe. I want to hear that you want to be on that rocket ship and just go into the atmosphere and
That's
try your
exactly
best.
how I feel.
Yes, that's why I love independent wrestling and I love supporting women wrestlers, men's wrestlers, trans, everybody. I want to hear you guys want to be like on that stage, that big AEW stage or the big WWE stage someday. I don't want to hear, oh, the small stage is good for me. I'm like, no, think big, think big. So what is your normal like schedule like in the like before a wrestling show?
Usually, so since I'm at college at UC Santa Cruz, I have to travel home, usually to do my home shows. And for those, I usually have to drive, 3 or 4 hours to get there. And I usually pregame with a Red Bull, and I don't know. I usually just get hype and listen to some music.
Ooh, what's the music you listen to get you hyped?
Sometimes I listen to Journey's "Don't Stop Believing" and a lot of Deftones.
Ooh, as being a big Deftones fan, this is gonna be what is your top, like, I'll go top 6 all-time
Six.
favorite Deftones songs.
Let's see if I can think of that many right now.
Yes.
um, I really like the whole Diamond Eyes, like, album itself, but, yeah, probably just that album in general. I usually blast that one, and then I'll listen to Mascara a
Mm.
lot
My
before
own summer
shows.
shove it is mine. My own summer shove it, Rat, Doctor, and anything on the around the fur album.
Yeah, I love the Fur album.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is like your go-to like meal like after a show if anything's still open?
I usually go to either Denny's or IHOP because it's the only thing open after cleaning up and everything, and I'll order pancakes because pancakes are just the best.
Yes. Like regular plain old pancakes or like chocolate chip or you put like whipped cream and stuff like that on it.
Don't call me crazy, but just plain pancakes.
Butter,
Butter, there's butter, don't worry.
coffee or tea?
Um, I like both depending. But I don't like iced tea at all, just hot
Mm.
tea.
Yeah. I like iced tea only like if I have like a sore throat or if I'm not feeling like myself that day, I'll throw in like a little tea, raspberry tea, peach tea. But generally, I'll just drink a hot tea if I don't like want some tea or I'm not feeling good. But coffee, that's my boy. Like, that's my homie. Like I could drink coffee, sick a dog going coffee. Um, do you collect anything?
Um, I have a lot of stuffed animals because I don't know, I think them cute. Here, I collect these little ones called pom poms. They're so
Ooh,
and they just come with, like, a bunch of, like, foresty animals.
I think I saw one that was a strawberry one time on it on Instagram.
Yeah, they're pretty popular on Instagram right now.
Ooh, I noticed there's a championship belt behind you. What belt is that?
This is Next Level Pro Wrestling, my home promotion, and I'm currently just won the women's title. So
Mm.
I'm the women's champion for Next Level Pro Wrestling.
Because as I said, like internationally known. Did you know that this podcast is the internationally known home of champions?
I did not know that.
Yes, we've had titles on here from the Scotland to England to France to New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, like Connecticut. Oh my gosh, everywhere. So I'm gonna like zip up. There it goes. It's on the Wall of Fame.
Mhm.
So let's go back to what was your energy like in your very first match?
My energy was definitely nervous. I was debuting against Malaya Hosaka, who has been on WWF back in the day,
Mm.
and, it was a nerve-wracking to be in with someone that had so much experience over me and knows the business so well. But after that first match with her, I she gave me a lot of great advice on how to develop in the business, and I always keep her advice in mind.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's really good that you had a chance to face an old WWF legend like her. So now let's go a little. So what were you thinking when the referee counted three and they announced you as the new women's champion? What were you thinking?
Honestly, I felt like I was going to cry because I've been working up my whole my from my debut to then I knew I wanted to work towards the title, and hearing the crowd shout my name as I hold on to this belt, it was just pure, like, shock, and, like, it was like a dream come true, really.
Oh wow, that's so awesome to hear. Like a young wrestler like you, they win a championship and they've been dying to win that belt. Like there's most young wrestlers never even get that shot. Like they do, but they lose it, and then they get in, they try win it again. The booker's like, so when a young wrestler like you gets that opportunity, do you ever like see another young wrestler in the locker room that sees you while coming through and do you ever like walk up to them and if they look like they're feeling down on themselves, ever walk over to them and like try to give them advice?
All the locker rooms I've been in, thankfully, have been really positive and uplifting, so I haven't been through that situation, really, but if I was ever in that situation, I definitely would go and talk to them, because there's always gonna be more opportunities to better yourself and put yourself out there.
Awesome. Um, before we go, if my fans would like to follow you on social media, where can they find you?
They can find me on X as Irish Rose Kelly Page, on Instagram as Irish Rose Kelly Page, and they can catch me on a streaming platform called Zebo, where they stream Next Level Pro Wrestling's monthly shows.
Okay. If they want to buy any merch from you, do you have any merch yet?
If you go into my Instagram, there's a pre-order link where they can purchase their own Irish Rose merch.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Um, right before we go, if there's any young fans watching this episode, what kind and they want to become wrestlers, what kind of advice would you give them?
To stay positive. Um, at first, it's going to be really tough to learn how to fall, how to roll, how to move, but it will click. You just cannot give up and you have to persevere because at the end of the day, you're going out there and you have the ability to put other people, like, put a smile on their faces and entertain them.
Awesome. I would like to thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It really means a lot to get another awesome young wrestler that's just coming up. And one day I may see you on AEW Dark and be like, oh my God, I had Kelly on the end of the beginning of November, and look at her now. I'm Joe Panther the Third,
I'm Kelly Page.
and we will catch you in the next one. Good night, everybody.